Okay, we'll focus on essay writing now. So, what do you think are the primary aspects of an essay? So, the rules that you follow in any email writing, the same rule you follow in essay writing as well. So, essay is a elongated written piece, okay, where you'll be focusing on multiple ideas. So, the primary idea of any essay is you will have an introduction, body, and a conclusion. This is the primary layout of an essay. Your introduction, you should make it a point that your introduction is always attractive. Okay, in the introduction try to use adages or proverbs or any attractive catchy lines so that the reader will get interested to read your essay, because many times during the time of evaluation the evaluator will have, let's say, 50 to 60 scripts or 30 scripts per day to evaluate. So if 50% of the students have written the essay on the same topic, even he or she will get bored of reading the same thing. How will you get more marks? Only when you have attractive introduction and conclusion. See, your introduction and conclusion is very much important. Your introduction, in the introduction you should use catchy lines, and in the introduction itself you should clarify what is that you are going to do in the body. Okay, because many times that your body, your introduction and conclusion will sum up, will tell what is your essay about. And in the body, let's say if you're writing about 5 points, you should write in 5 different paras, and always make it a point. The first line you should define your concept. In the second sentence of that para, you have to elaborate it, and the third part of the para, on the third part of that para, you can cite examples. So you will mention the concept, support the concept with evidences, and finally you mention examples. So like this, for each of the five ideas, if you write, it will be complete. And the conclusion should not be just a repetition of what you have done. Now your conclusion should be a gist, could be a concise rating of your main essay. Let's say if you have written the essay for about 100, let's say 1,000 words, your conclusion should be one third of it. Concise is always one third. Okay, your conclusion should be the gist of your entire essay writing. Again, if any of the evaluator is in no mood to read your entire essay, he or she will just look at your introduction and your conclusion. If your introduction and conclusion is apt, that itself, these both components should give at least 75% of the information of what you have written. So essay writing is a skill. Okay, as journalist students, when you write articles, you have to follow this methodology. You should have an attractive headline. The introduction should tell, the introductory para should tell what is that you are going to talk, and the conclusion should give the gist of the entire essay. That is how you enhance your writing skills as journalist students. So what is an essay writing? Essay, the word essay is defined in the concise Oxford Dictionary as a literary composition, usually prose and short, on any subject. It is a written composition giving expression to one's own personal ideas or opinions on some topic, but the term usually covers also any written composition, whether it expresses personal opinions or gives information on any given subject or details of a narrative or description. Characteristics of essay writing. The good essay must contain the following characteristics. It should have an unity, order, brevity, style, personal touch. Brevity means to be brief. They say there is an adage, brevity is wit. Means what? If you are able to convey maximum information using minimum words, that shows that you are intelligent. The essay must have a unity, treating in an orderly manner of one subject. It should be concisely written and not too long. And the style should be simple, direct, and clear. And it should have an individuality or show the personal touch of the writer. Classification of essay writing. Essays may be classified as narrative, descriptive, expository, reflective, and imaginative. Narrative. In a narrative essay, the writer tells a story about a real life experience. While telling a story may sound easy to do, the narrative essay challenges students to think and write about themselves. When writing a narrative essay, a writer should try to involve the reader by making the story as vivid as possible. Narration. It's just like when you hear somebody narrating a story. Similarly, the way you write an essay should be like a storytelling. That is what is meant by narration. Then descriptive. Let's say even the best example for narrative essay could be the narration of certain events. For example, if you are reporting about IPL match, you will be narrating the events, what all happened, right from who won the toss, what was the team selection, Okay, who got maximum number of wickets, who scored the maximum number of runs. Okay, you are narrating the event there. That is an example for narrative essay. Then descriptive. A descriptive essay paints a picture with words. A writer might describe a person, place, object, or even memory of special significance. The descriptive essay strives to communicate a deeper meaning through the description. In a descriptive essay, the writer should show through the use of colorful words and sensory details. Descriptive, for example, if you are asked to describe a product, if you're asked, let's say you get into any ad agencies and you're asked to describe a mobile phone, describe the features of the mobile phone, okay, in a brochure, then you will be using a descriptive type of essay. Then expository. In an expository essay, the writer explains or defines a topic using facts, statistics, and examples. Expository writing encompasses a wide range of essay variations such as the comparison and contrast essay, the cause and effect essay, and how to or process essays. So this is very much important. You may get an MCQ question. Expository essay mainly focuses on, they will give you the options, cause and effect, okay, or description, narration. So you should mainly focus on cause and effect, comparison and contrast, or how to process. Reflective. A reflective essay consists of reflections on thought on some topic, which is generally of an abstract nature. For example, habits, qualities, social, political, and domestic topics, philosophical subjects, religious and theological topics. The reflective means when you read, you reflect on your own thought process, own beliefs. For example, if you read an article about environment, about climate change, then you reflect upon your own practices and check to what extent you are causing, you are the reason for destruction of climate. Then you change your behavior. So that is, such type of essays are reflective essays. Then imaginative. Essays on subjects such as the feelings and experience of the sailor wrecked on a desert island may be called imaginative essays. In such, the writer is called to place himself in imagination in a position of which he has had no actual experience. Such subjects as If I Were a King or the autobiography of a horse would call for imaginative essays. So even fictions for that matter, when people write novels, they imagine. That is also an elongated essay. This is the overview of essay writing. It should have an introduction, body, and conclusion. Introduction should have general statements and information about the topic. Thesis statement lists the main ideas in essays. Body paragraphs support the main ideas of the thesis statement. Begin the topic sentences. In conclusion, brief summary of main points in the essay. Your introduction conclusion should be always attractive. How to write an effective essay? Every essay has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In a 5-paragraph essay, the first paragraph is called the introduction. The next 3 paragraphs consist of body of the essay. The 5th and final paragraph is the conclusion. So I elaborated this earlier. So now we are focusing on each aspects of the essay. Introduction. The introduction paragraph is the first paragraph of your essay. Here you show the main idea of your essay. It must be interesting to your reader and must say why your topic is important. First of all, write the thesis. The main idea of essay is stated in a single sentence called the thesis statement. Provide some background information about your topic. You can use interesting facts that you will use later in the essay. The introduction usually has 3 parts. The hook, or a dramatic opener, consists of several sentences that pull the reader into the essay. The transitional sentence connects the hook to the thesis statement. Then the thesis statement is 1 or 2 sentences that states the idea of the essay. Parts of an essay, hooks or dramatic openers. Hooks are used to grab your reader's attention at the beginning of a paragraph or in a report or essay. The hook is often a short sentence and is placed before the topic sentence. Hook means it's like dramatic openers, as I said, attractive quotes, phrases. Transitional sentences are vital devices for essay papers or other literary compositions. They improve the connections and transitions between sentences and paragraphs. They thus give a text a logical organization structure. Means transition, they connect different sentences. Thesis statement. A very basic thesis statement is 1 or 2 sentences at the end of the paragraph, end of the first paragraph, that tells the reader the main idea of your essay. Thesis statement, as I said, let's say you're talking about air pollution, you make your statement. Air pollution is caused by lot of human activities. That is a thesis statement. And in the coming up statements, you justify how it is happening. A thesis statement should do these 3 things. It should clearly express what the essay is about. It should make a discussable point. It should indicate the structure of the essay. So about the parts of the essay, body of the essay has supporting paragraphs. They make the body of your work. They develop the main idea of your essay. To connect your supporting paragraphs, you should use special transition words. Transition words link your paragraphs together and make your essay easier to read. Use them at the beginning and end of your paragraph. Each paragraph in the body of essay contains the following sentence: topic sentence, detailed sentence, concluding or transitional sentences. So topic sentence, as I said, it tells what is that you're writing in the sentence. Detail means you will be elaborating it through justifications, be it in terms of elaborated concepts or examples. Concluding, it wraps up what all you intend to say. This part, the conclusion, explains the conclusions and findings, proves that the theme announced at the beginning of the essay is fully disclosed, necessarily express your personal opinion about the work done. The concluding paragraph typically has two parts. It has a summary statement in one or two sentences, which restate the thesis in a fresh way to reinforce the essay's main idea. Then the clincher is a final thought which should create a lasting impression on the reader. It is also referred to as the closer in your last opportunity to connect with the reader. So in clincher, you should come up with your personal opinions. Summary statement, you will be just writing the concise of the entire essay. Revision is actually, so once you have written, you cross check whether what you have written is correct or incorrect. Revision is actually something a good writer does throughout the writing process. Revision does not mean recopying what you have already written. Revision means making changes to the content of the paper so that every word, sentence, and paragraph makes sense to the reader. It means you are actually editing it, proofreading it. Three areas in particular to examine as you consider how to improve the content and style of your essay are as follows. See, always make it a point whenever you write any piece, show to it to different people, to close ones, so that they will identify the errors and ask them what did they understand. So only then you will be able to understand the pulse of the reader. Otherwise, you would have written from your own perspective, but at a later stage when it goes to the reader may misinterpret it, or there could be a lot of miscommunication. Three areas in particular to examine as you consider how to improve the content and style of your essay are as follows: clarity, unity, and coherence. Is essay clearly and logically written? That is clarity, unity. Do all the paragraphs relate to the central idea? So you should be aware of this: clarity, unity, and coherence. They may ask you, what is the concept called as if all the paragraphs relate to central idea? Is it clarity, unity, or coherence? We should mention unity. Then coherence. Do the ideas flow smoothly? Proofreading is very much important. Proofreading is different from revision. Whereas revision focuses on improving the content of the essay, proofreading deals with recognizing and correcting errors or punctuation, capitalization, spelling, and grammar. If you use Grammarly, proofreading, let's say 80% of the proofreading is done. Proofreading checklist. Have all fragments and run-on sentences been eliminated? Does the essay use correct paragraphing and indentation? Is there agreement between subjects and verbs? Are pronoun references clear? Has correct verb tense been used correctly and consistently? Have commas, apostrophes, and semicolons been used correctly? Have words been capitalized correctly? Are there any sentences that could be combined to provide sentence variety? Does the essay show interesting and accurate word choice? Has a dictionary or spell checker been used to correct spelling errors? So if you use Grammarly, most of the errors will get rectified. All the grammatical errors will get rectified. So these are the references. Okay, so to sum it up, in essay, you should take into consideration 3 points. You should, before writing an essay, most important thing is you should have a rough draft. You should do a word mapping in rough work. You should list down what all words that comes to your mind, and then arrange it in chronological order. And therein you decide what will you write in the introductory part, what will you write in the body, how many points are you going to write, and what will you write in the conclusion. So introduction should always be attractive, and conclusion should always convey the gist of what you have written. Okay, I hope you are aware of the basic